Are you ready to learn how to delegate your email to your virtual assistant? If so, you've gone to the right place. I'm going to walk you through step by step the process and what it could look like for you to finally actually effectively delegate your email to a virtual assistant. Now, it can sound scary, it can sound daunting, especially if you have, let's say, 11 email accounts that you have for different clients, for different work emails, whatever it looks like. I'm going to walk you through how to effectively be able to delegate to your assistant, and if you watch until the end of this video, how you can even have your assistant reply to emails as you. Now, first off, what is email management as an output or as a task to a virtual assistant? It's basically having your assistant fully take charge of your inbox, whether that is your Facebook inbox, LinkedIn inbox, or more typically your email inbox. So then they will go through ahead and filter, they will sort, they will reply to emails as you, and also take action on any action items that are on your email. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to choose the tool that you're going to use. So for example, for me, we just use Gmail, that's Google Workspace straight up. I do have 2 other email addresses that I maintain. However, the 2 of them always reroute all of the emails into my one Gmail, into my one big account basically. So my assistant gets all of them. Now, for different people that I've worked with within my company 2XU, they've had, a Gmail account, they've had an Outlook account, they've had a Yahoo account as well. So they had multiple things that they kept having to check just because clients will email different things. So the first thing that you might want to do is choosing your tool on having all in one place. Now, I know some of our clients use Superhuman, there's SaneBox, there's a lot of other tools out there, to be honest. I can't really recommend one or the other because for me, luckily, everything is on Gmail for me and I could just auto forward from one account to the other. The main thing on this step is just choosing a tool for you and your assistant to be able to have access to your email. Now, the cool thing with Google Workspace is I can delegate my inbox without having to actually give the login to my assistant. This is something that you can configure on your settings basically inside your inbox. You basically have to delegate, that's the actual term that they use, delegate it to the assistant's email, and they'll be able to access it basically through the additional accounts that they'll have on the right hand on the little profile on the side there. They'll be able to basically switch accounts to your inbox. Next is you want to start creating the system. Now, to start with, you're going to want to have 3 different systems that you'll have in place with your assistant. The first one is your label system. Basically, how will your assistant tag the different emails that you get so you know which ones are for you and which ones they will probably respond to themselves. Now, for me, I use 6 main labels. There's a lot of mini ones after that, but I have 6 main labels. The first one is action needed. These are emails that only I can do, that only I can take action on for one reason or the other. So my assistant will go through my email every single day at 8 o'clock. She'll clean it through and she'll add the tag action needed for things that she wants me to make sure that I see right as I start my day at around 8:30 and I actually look at my inbox. The second label is to read. So basically I just have to read. I might not have to take action, or I might need to respond to this and only I can respond to it for one reason or the other. The third one is just client emails, which is basically, it's just filtered through using the email addresses of our clients, and those are the first things that I'll see. Next are team emails, again also filtered by at 2xu.com, for example, and they will pop up as team emails, so I can see those right away as well. And 2 ones that are just for my assistant. One is sent by Honey or XYZ. Honey's my assistant. So for example, if she was the one who did a reach out to someone or responded to something from someone, she will need to add the label sent by Honey. So then for us, we know who actually is going back and forth with this person, and I don't have to jump in unless she again tags the to read or action needed. And lastly, there's a Honey action tag, or for your assistant, your XYZ action tag, where anytime that I see an email come in that I'm seeing that she needs to take action on, I will tag it as that. So that's for me to be able to do. So then the next day or within the day that she's checking the emails, she can answer to those. Next is, as you have your labels in place, and you can again add more, I just gave you the major 6 categories that you might want to have, is adding the filter. So for each label, what would be the filter for that? So again, clients, pretty easy to set up. It's just, of course, grabbing the email address of the client. Anytime you get this kind of email, for example, on Gmail, then it automatically gets tagged with client email. Same thing with team emails, and the same thing with anything else that you know would need action on. So for example, when our bookkeeper sends me a report every single month, it automatically gets tagged because it will have the same subject line, and Gmail will automatically just add that tag. Or if it fails for one reason or the other, my assistant knows to add that tag. And you also want to set up the system to auto unsubscribe. Now, there might be a few newsletters that you like to read. Like I have 3 that I like to read every single week as they come in, so I don't have my assistant unsubscribe to those, but I will buy courses, I will grab freebies for things that my assistant already knows that she should auto just unsubscribe, because I don't really want to see those emails. Or if she's not sure, of course, she sends me a screenshot and asks me if it's something for her to filter out or to stay in my inbox. So again, on creating your system, you need the labels, the filters, and the auto unsubscribe filters basically for you, what works for your assistant. And now the next step is to do a 10% test. Now what I mean by this is when you're trying to delegate anything to your assistant, if it's something new, you want to do something that's called the 10% test of like, as they're 10% there or even 20% there, it's just having a quick feedback loop for them so they know if they're on the right track or not. So it could be that, let's say you've already set up the system, let's say you set up the system like Thursday, and then on Monday, as your assistant is going through and filtering emails, as she, let's say that's 100 emails and she's gone through 10, is then she asks, hey, can you give me a quick feedback loop? I've done 10% of this already. Can you let me know if I'm on the right path or not? That way it's a little bit easier for you to steer them into the right direction versus them being 50% done or 70 or even 100% done and they actually weren't on the right path. So it's just a kind of a quick steering just to make sure that they're on the right way. Next is you want to go ahead and start creating templates for common emails that you get anyway. So it could be people inquiring about your business. It could be people wanting to apply for your business. It could be the common questions that you'll get anyway. And you want to have your assistant start creating a template folder. So for example, for me, my assistant has this big Google Doc that's easy to find and easy to access that has common questions that we get through email and then how she would usually answer them or how I've answered them before. So then it makes her life easier to copy and paste that information to the next thing, to the next email, and as well as learning slowly how I write. Now this is the key thing as you're trying to train your assistant how to write as you, is first give them how you would usually respond to different things so they have a framework of how they can respond to things in the future as well. So as a really good example, I get sponsorship types kinds of emails all the freaking time, and my assistant knows how to know which ones are legit and which ones aren't, and also how I would respond to each, like how I would respond to someone that's actually really interesting or someone who might not actually be fully offering a sponsorship. They just need a response one way or the other. So there's different ways that we have already created that system between the two of us, so then she can start responding as me. Basically, the more that you expose your assistant and walk them through the process of how you respond to things, the faster it would be for them to learn how you write or how you reply. Next is for at least maybe 2 weeks is create a daily system. What that means is as you're still trying to get a hang of how you manage your emails, maybe this could be just a week thing. I know for my assistant, it took us a week to be able to get this down. Is every single week is as you're doing maybe a daily sync with them, or you have it set up as a call that for 10 minutes, you go through the email yourself and then you clean it up basically based on how you would want it to be cleaned. And then the next week is then seeing your assistant as they clean it up as well. Again, this could be a 10 to 15 minute call where you're just sharing screen and walking through how you do it. They walk you through how they do it. And then afterwards you switched from a daily to just weekly checks of them being able to bring up like, hey, I actually didn't quite know how to respond to X, Y, and Z. Can you make sure that you get that done? Or, hey, this is how I responded to this person, just so you have the update on how this is going. So then it is just a report. Instead of them having to keep course correcting or trying to make sure they're on the right path, they're now just reporting to you and giving you the updates on how your email is going. So then for the rest of your week, you are kept up to date on what that looks like for you. And finally, you want to make sure that you document and iterate. So what I mean by this is have your assistant create your standard operating procedure on how they manage your email. That way there's an easy way for them to go back and have a quick checklist and make sure they've done basically all that they've done. And also a way for them to train someone else in the future. If let's say they needed a replacement or they're off for a few days and need someone else to track and manage your email, it's going to be easy for them to have someone take over the task or the output because it is already written down. Now, the next thing is, of course, to iterate, to keep finding other ways to make it more efficient, to see improvements. With the rise of AI and so many tools nowadays, there might always be a better and better way to do this. I recommend to do iterations at least quarterly or every 6 months just to see if there's a tool or a better system to do it. But That is basically the reason why you want to make sure that it's documented and written out. So then you have a baseline of, hey, this is what works. Let's test this. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, it broke things. Let's go back to the baseline. So you have a documentation of what it was before you tried anything new. And of course, when there's an update, make sure you update the documentation as well. Now, handing over your email to your assistant can be scary, can be security problems, all of this. But to be honest, a lot of people have been doing this for years, even before the rise of the internet. Secretaries have been amazingly managing their clients' inbox, their actual mail. You just have to start creating the systems for yourself and then having your assistant follow that. So then it's kind of like you just have an extension of you managing your inbox. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below, have you ever delegated email management to anyone? And if you have any questions, let me know as well. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. I hope you guys have an amazing day and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!